Hey friends, it's Corey from Hey Let's Make Stuff. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you 10 easy ways to sort of give your craft booth a glow up. In this video, we're going to be talking about all sorts of inexpensive ways to take your craft booth to the next level. A lot of times we can spend a lot of money doing this, and honestly I have, but there are a lot of ways that you don't have to like break the bank to make your craft booth just a little bit better. The presentation of your craft booth definitely matters. It is what is going to draw the people walking by into your booth to look at your products. They will never know the quality of your products or whether or not they want to buy your products if they just walk by your booth because it is not inviting them inside. So let's talk about 10 sort of inexpensive improvements that you can make to get those people to stop walking by and to actually come in your booth and buy your stuff. I talk a lot about this in my small business videos, but really you need to define your visual brand. You need to know what your brand is going to look like visually. There are countless resources about creating a brand online, but I'm really talking about the visuals of it. Yes, you have your brand voice, and yes, you may have a mission, and those are important things, but here I'm talking about what does your company say visually? And because this is a quick and easy fix, we're going to talk about just two things. We're going to talk about your colors and we're going to talk about your vibe. So your colors, you definitely don't want a mishmash of a bunch of different colors. So for my craft booth, I have sort of three main colors, but I really concentrate mostly on pink. So I've got pink, I've got a bunch of accents in teal, and then I've got even fewer accents in bright yellow. And yes, I have other colors that go on in my booth, but I constantly, both in my products and in the way that everything is displayed, come back to that sort of palette. And that way everything starts to look visually cohesive. You don't want, you know, a purple thing here and a green thing here and a bunch of pink stuff here, and then you've got some rustic wood stuff over here. It just is so visually stimulating, but not in a good way, right? You want to be able to make sure that when people look at your booth, everything feels really cohesive, and the best way to do that is to start with color. The other thing you want to think about is vibe. What is the vibe that you bring to your booth, right? So maybe it is whimsical and fairy-like and very, very cute and just adorable. Maybe it is fun and modern and bright and bold. Maybe it is sort of country chic and you've got the woods and all of these things. The color and the vibe should pair together, right? So for example, maybe you have that beautiful fairy whimsical sort of feel and your main color is black. It's just not going to work as well as if you don't have this sort of like fairy-like, you know, color palette. Or maybe your whole brand is like super luxe and everything is, you know, it just has this very, very high-end feel. But your main color's bright orange. I don't know, doesn't work quite as well. You want to really think about how you can tie your colors and your vibe together to create sort of one cohesive look. Now I understand that going out and buying all new display stuff, getting a bunch of signs printed, all of this can be very expensive. So this is going to be a process, right? It's going to be like, oh, hey, I need a new way to display my mugs. I want to make sure that I'm finding something that fits really well into both my colors and my vibe. If it doesn't fit one of those two things, don't get it. You really want to be able to make sure that anything you're purchasing going forward, anything you're making, anything that you're thrifting, anything that you're getting from the Buy Nothing group will fit both the vibe and the color scheme you have going. Now, there are other ways to do this. Spray paint. I love spray paint. A can of spray paint is not very expensive and it can turn something that is not at all your brand into something that looks very much like your brand. You can also think about other easy ways to add color and vibe to your booth. So for example, maybe you do have some sort of a whimsical, playful style. Make a set of paper banners, right? Like just use cardstock. This is an inexpensive way to add a bunch of color. It's a great way to show some color cohesiveness. It's a great way to show off that vibe without spending a lot of money. Now, as we're going through the rest of these items on my little list here, always keep the color and the vibe in mind. If I'm talking about signage, I want you to think, does it match my colors? Does it match my vibe? All of these things will help create that nice cohesive booth, which will attract people to come inside. Number 2 on my list is to think about your tablecloths. Now, tablecloths can get really expensive because obviously fabric can get really expensive, but I do feel like this is something that I think people don't think a lot about, that I think people should think about a little bit more. So I see a lot of people using black tablecloths. For some products, this works. I have a friend who makes jewelry. Her jewelry looks lovely on the black tablecloths. It works really well. But I see, you know, cute designers of other things, and these black tablecloths just feel so heavy. And I feel like they're almost like a black hole when you're looking at them. You have like the stuff on top, but your brain is just like taking in all of this black table, you know, fabric below, and it sort of just like sucks your brain into this black hole of fabric. And so I would like you to think about maybe thinking about tablecloths of a different color. Find something in your brand. There are a lot of options out there. For me, I'm not a huge fan of those stretchy tablecloths, you know, the ones that kind of go over the legs. They are nice because they don't blow around, but to me, they kind of read trade show versus craft fair, like, you know, like some sort of, you know, company is setting them up. If they're what you have, that's fine, go ahead and run with them. But if you're thinking about buying tablecloths, I prefer tablecloths that have that sort of boxy shape. You can put way more underneath them for storage. And then I do feel like they just have a cleaner look. Another option is to make your own tablecloths. Again, you're gonna need a certain set of skills to be able to do this. When I first started my craft booth, I couldn't find any tablecloths that I particularly liked. So I just went out and bought like a lot of the cheapest muslin I could, and I made my own tablecloths. I did put like a colored border at the bottom, and it did take me a long time, but overall they were very inexpensive for me because I know how to sew and I can sew pretty quickly. So that might be another option, a way to get something that looks very custom without spending a lot of money. My third tip is to add height to your tables. Whether you are using overturned baskets or crates, anything that can create height. Because if you have everything just flat out on the table, it's going to look like a garage sale. You really need that height. Think about the merchandising that you see in stores. Target doesn't just have everything laid out on a table, right? They have different, you know, cubes and all sorts of things to create that height and that visual interest. Again, this might be where you want to use some spray paint. Maybe you have these like sort of rustic wooden crates, but a little bit of, you know, bright blue spray paint is going to make them exactly your vibe and your colors. If you don't have the budget for baskets or crates or anything like that, cardboard boxes. Just cover some cardboard boxes with some fabric and you can create that height without spending a lot of money. My only thing here is to make sure that the cardboard boxes are pretty stable. You may want to add weights inside the cardboard boxes so that they actually stay on the table. But yeah, just cover them with a little bit of fabric and you have that height, which gives visual interest instead of having everything flat on the table. Number 4, let's talk about signage. So you should have a quite large sign that says the name of your business that you can put behind you at your craft booth or hang in some other part of your craft booth. You need to have your business name front and center, specifically with a tagline about what you do so that somebody outside the booth can get an idea of what you do without having to come inside your booth. So my own sign for my business, Chapter and Craft, it has my big Chapter and Craft logo, very big. And then below that, it says Bookish Gifts and Decor. So that way people know exactly what they're gonna get when they come into my booth. This does a good job of getting the people I want in my booth, and the people I don't want in my booth to not come in my booth, because I've had people come in my booth who are like, oh, I don't read. And first of all, that makes me really sad. But second of all, that's not my ideal customer. They can keep walking. So when I got my big sign that actually says that, I feel like the number of people coming into my booth and realizing it's not for them actually went down dramatically. And I was very happy about that because I want space for the people who want to buy my things in my booth. So let's get rid of the people who are not my customers so I can let in the people who are. Number 5 is lighting. Now, I will be honest and say I don't have any lighting for my booth at this time. I don't think it's necessary for what I sell. However, if you sell things where you need details highlighted, if you have really specific, very beautiful things that you want to sell, especially jewelry, you know, maybe you have a beautiful pair of earrings that you want to feature in, you know, everything that you're selling, try lighting. I feel like lighting is a great way to add focus without having to spend a lot of money. Little strip lights on Amazon, little circle lights, those are all very inexpensive ways to highlight different things in your booth without breaking the bank. Number 6 is something that I actually struggle with and I've had to work on, and it's something that I think I can get a lot better at, and that is showcasing fewer products but better. I want to showcase everything I make, every single thing on every single surface, and sometimes that can be so visually overwhelming. People don't know where to start, people don't know what to look at. So I've had to sort of pare down some of the things I make. Instead of having 20 different mugs out, I now have 9, for example. You know, those sorts of things where you're just like, okay, I don't need every single thing I've ever made to be on this table. I need to showcase what I have so that people can actually see the products and decide if it's for them. Again, having every single inch of your table covered gives those garage sale vibes, right? People are trying to get everything sold, put it all out. But if you can give your space some breathing room, if you can have some room for some pretty decor decor, you know, other things that kind of highlight your products, you're gonna be much more successful than you are if you've just put everything you've ever made out on the table. Number 8 is something I added to my booth earlier this year, and it has been a huge success for me. So I basically added a clearance shelf. I added a sales shelf. This is discontinued items. It's stuff that might have slight printing imperfections, and all of it is 50% off. It's not something I would ever feel comfortable selling at full price, but I'm happy putting it on the sales shelf. I make a lot of money from the sales shelf. I'm not making it nearly the profit that I would be, but I would probably just be throwing things away or donating them if I didn't do this. So having a sale shelf, also with the big word sale on it, has brought people into my booth so they can say, oh, wait, she's got like sale mugs over there. And they come and they start to look, and then they're like, what else does she have? I have found that this didn't cost me any extra money to set up. I just had to print out a small sign to go with it. But this has been such a game changer for my booth because it's bringing people in who were just walking by but who love a deal. So if you have products that you have discontinued, things that aren't perfect and you aren't comfortable selling at full price, things that you once made and you don't want to make them anymore, and so you just have a handful left over, put those things on the sales shelf. I mean, I give 50% off. You could do whatever, you know, percentage you'd like, but I do feel like this is a great way to bring people into your booth. Number 9 is tidy and consistent pricing. Pricing is so big, right? And I don't want you to overlook this because I think this is one of the things that a lot of people make really difficult for shoppers when it really doesn't need to be. So for me, I have these sort of 2-inch by 2-inch pricing signs that I basically put up everywhere with everything so that you can very clearly and easily see how much things cost. I used to just print these out before every craft show and get sad because sometimes they get ruined or bent or wet or whatever, but then I laminated them and now I just reuse them. And they are so easy. I just put them out, stick them. I use those removable dots on the back. I stick them to my displays. I have a few little clips that work, but people know they can look for these signs because all the signs are the same and they can look and see how much the product costs. I also have several full pricing sheets so that if somebody is looking and they're like, wait, I don't know how much these glass tumblers cost, they can go down the pricing sheet and see that as well. And then finally, number 10 is to have a customer-friendly layout. So there are 2 types of shoppers, right? There are the people who want to come into your booth and talk to you, and those people I find really, really fun because I want to talk to them as well. And then there are the people who don't really want to come into the booth, and you kind of want to try and reach both of those people, which can be difficult. My favorite setup is the Z layout, and you really need a corner for this to work, but I'm going to show you a graphic here so that you can kind of see how it's set up. I have a table out in the front where people passing by can look, they don't have to come into my booth, and then I have 2 other tables full of merchandise that other people can come and look at if they do want to come into my booth. This works really, really well on a corner layout because it does have sort of an entrance and exit point. If you don't have something like this, you can try doing like an L or a U where you have products that are on the edges of the tables that are facing out. You can have those like products facing out. Don't face them like into the booth, face them out so that the people walking by can actually see your products. All right, I went through those things really quick, but I hope you found this video helpful on inexpensive ways to kind of give your booth that glow up without breaking the bank. If you have any questions or any ideas, I would love to hear them. Please leave those down in the comments. If you found this video helpful, give it a like. Follow my channel for more crafting content. I'll see you next time.